Everyone says, do not sing from the throat voice. But how to do that? Ah, throat voice. Ah, chest voice. So, hear about my journey from throat voice to chest voice and transform your singing as well. Hello everyone. Most of us begin our singing journey using what we call the throat voice. And very often, we also hear from our teachers or the other singers that do not sing from the throat. Well, then naturally we wonder, if not the throat, then what? How do we reach the chest voice or the stomach voice, which we always hear about? I have struggled with this too. And today I want to share my journey with all of you, what I learned, the mistakes which I made, and the techniques that finally helped me to shift from the throat voice to the chest voice. So, let us begin. Well, in the beginning, I had no idea what throat voice, chest voice, or stomach voice actually meant. And because the body, our own body, is an internal instrument, a teacher cannot show these things from the outside. We have to feel them from inside. Now, many teachers, they have already mastered their voice and they generally sing in a chest voice or stomach voice while singing. So, this makes them hard to demonstrate the difference between these voices as well. This is exactly where I struggled so much. But let me show you, or I will try to show you, the difference between these three voices. So starting with the throat voice. Okay. Ah, ah, ah. So this is like a throat voice, but throat voice. Then next comes the stomach voice, singing from the stomach. Correct? Third is the chest voice. And let me try to show you the head voice as well. So as I said, I will try to show you. I'm not sure how much different they sounded, but because you have to feel it from the inside. But definitely I think you can hear the difference between these three like voices or four voices, right? So another technique to understand this is using the harmonium and the tanpura. You can check my one of my previous video which is titled as tanpura versus harmonium to understand how the chest voice and the throat voice are different with the principle of the resonance from each other. So, like if you treat your lungs like the bellows of the harmonium and the tanpura, there is one thread. So, if you move that thread, you get the resonating effect. So, that is the difference. You can check in that video as well. So, it took me quite a long time to understand the difference between these three voices, but I hope with these two techniques which I just told you, you might understand it quickly. Now, what is the problem with the throat voice? Why not to use the throat voice? That was my next big question when I started. So, here is what I discovered about it. In the light music, film music, or even sometimes the semi classical music, throat voice usually works. Many singers they still sing in the throat voice, even they deny it, but you can hear that. Okay, many film and background singers they're comfortable with the throat voice as well. But when we start singing Indian classical music, especially the Gamakas and the Taans, that time we understand the importance of the chest voice because the throat voice it cannot produce good Gamakas or Taan. It starts showing the limitations. Let me try to give you a demo. So if I want to sing a Gamak or a Taan, so in a throat voice. Okay, versus if I use the chest voice. Do you understand the difference? Let us try to do it with the Taan as well. First, the throat voice. Ah, ah, ah. With the chest voice. So that is the difference. I hope you understand somewhat with this demonstration. So the Gamaks they generally lose their weights and Tans you cannot speed them you cannot sing them with that much speed if you use the throat voice. I realized this by doing lot of reading, listening, experimenting with my own voice. Later, even the pranayam has helped me a lot to understand the chest voice because the yogic aspects used in the pranayam they help me to understand the airflow and master the airflow and get that particular resonance in my voice. But that is a very deep topic, so I will keep that aside. Right now, let us focus on the chest voice, like how to get to the chest voice from the throat voice. So when I was struggling with my throat voice, not understanding chest voice, stomach voice, what I did, let me share with you. Like many of you, I watched dozens of videos and tried to learn from them. First, I tried to learn from Professor T. Unnikrishnan, who does some workshops on the voice culture as well. Then I also found one of the videos from Dr. Balamurali Krishna. He explained about the voice culture, so that was very useful for me. Then I found one of the video or an interview of Kaushiki Chakraborty ji, who was telling how to sing from the stomach or the pet se gaana technique. Then I also explored one of the video by Gundecha brothers. They they told about one specific technique of holding your breath or singing from the chest and you have to experience a pull near the neck region. So it was a very different technique. So I was just exploring through different videos. These videos they helped me to understand the concepts, but applying them to my own voice, it was another challenge. So that required a lot of trial error, self analysis, and lot of efforts. My teacher would often say, you need more push in your gamak, more push. Well, but I simply could not understand. I tried different things, but I could not understand where that push should come from. I tried different mechanical ways like wide mouth akar ah or like forceful breathing, full breathing. so many techniques or giving some push from here, there, but whatever I try to do, sometimes I also experience itching and friction in my throat. So whenever I experienced that, I stopped immediately and never forced my voice or never stretched my voice in that particular direction. But gradually, when I practiced some of the techniques like long notes, swara alankars, wide mouth akar, and slow mindful riyaz. So with this and the pranayam, of course, so slowly, if I do this kind of practices, say for example for 30 minutes, the focus practice, then my voice would automatically become smoother and smoother. So, by practicing these specific techniques, although my voice started becoming smoother, there were still challenges in understanding the stomach voice, chest voice, head voice, so on. There were advantages and limitations of all these voices as well. So, first, when I tried the stomach voice, I could feel the air rising from the stomach, but I was taking very deep breath. That made my stomach expand too much, and then after a while, it started paining. Releasing that air smoothly, like when I used to breathe full till stomach, releasing the air was also becoming difficult. And the stomach voice, it added a heaviness, or it was great for Gamakas, okay, but not for Taans. I was facing problems when I tried to sing Taans using the stomach voice. Let me try to give you a demo. So first I will show you gamak and then how it affected my taan. So stomach voice, okay. So that was good for gamak, but when I tried to sing fast taan with that stomach voice, I simply could not produce the faster speed because that was very heavy voice. So for Tan, it was not at all suitable. Then the head voice. The head voice was very useful to sing the higher notes, but if I want to go down, like the Mandra Saptak or the lower octave, the voice would break, or there was a different kind of shift in that voice. When I try to shift from the higher notes, like the head voice, to the lower, like the lower octave. Let me try to show you that as well. So that, can you see that particular, there is a switch, so that switch is not at all smooth. You can see like this is where he shifted the voice, this is where he shifted the voice, you can immediately recognize. That was the problem with the head voice as well. And then came the chest voice. So I told you about the technique which Gundecha brothers explained, and I was also doing my pranayam simultaneously, like yoga and pranayam. So that is where slowly I discovered the chest voice myself, and the things changed from there. I realized that the air path, it needs to be stable to produce the chest voice. For that, chest breathing, not the stomach breathing, which is important. So earlier I was like to produce the stomach voice, or also like trying with different kind of voices. I was trying to breathe very heavily at full, like the stomach used to expand. But instead, the chest needs to be expanded. That is what I learned in the pranayam and yoga. So This is where only the chest expands, and that is very useful to produce the chest voice. So the chest should expand and flatten as you breathe in and breathe out. So with this and with the pranayama, it helped me to observe my breath internally, and I finally unlocked the chest voice. So the chest voice is actually naturally connects the stomach voice and the throat voice, or sometimes the head voice as well. And that is how I gradually understand how to use the mixed voice. That solved the problem which I told you. You can hear that break shifting from the head voice to the other voice, right? There was a difference. You could hear that. So that is where I realized the importance of the mixed voice. Now these were my personal insights. When you feel, or this is what I have found, I am not sure whether that is exactly the same for everyone or not, but how will you understand whether you are singing from the chest, or how will you understand if you are singing from the throat? So let me try to show you. If I sing from the uh, chest voice, or then I get the vibrations over here in the throat region, and it's reverse way. If I sing from the throat voice, I can feel the vibrations here near the chest. Bit odd, but that is my observation, my personal observation. So if I try to sing from throat, ah, I can feel the vibrations here. But if I try to sing from the chest, I don't feel the vibrations here. Ah, I mean, there are some vibrations, but the major vibrations, ah, I feel near the throat region. So I think you can also try doing it and understand whether you are singing from the throat or you are singing from the chest. Now let me share with you advantages and limitations of all the three different voices, whatever I have understood. So starting with the throat voice. Throat voice is good for live music, and if you are singing in a studio or along with mic in a closed setup, then no problem with the throat voice. But throat voice is not suitable for long time singing the steady notes which we use in the classical music, then singing the gamaks and taans, because it causes or produces the strain near the throat region. So these are the limitations of the throat voice. Second is the stomach voice. Stomach voice is very good for the low notes, like what we call kharaj, that kind of practice, and also to produce the powerful gamaks. So like you can see in Karnataka classical style, they produce very heavy gamaks. So for that, the stomach voice is very helpful. But if we want to sing the fast dance, sometimes it becomes difficult. Also, like there are these murki and harkats. These are used. They are used in say semi-classical music or also in the khyal style sometimes. So you cannot sing them very well with the stomach voice. Third one is the chest voice. Now there are so many advantages of the chest voice. It supports the long notes, steady notes. It gives you a different kind of breath control. Also, it connects your stomach voice, your throat voice, and head voice. So that is the link between these three voices. It is very versatile. So you can produce different types of like singing styles using the chest voice. As of now, I haven't found any major limitation with the chest voice, uh, but I can say that okay, it needs carefully mixing with the other voices when we have to sing the higher notes or the lower notes. But for the middle octave and regular singing, I think chest voice is very good. Now, what about the head voice? Head voice, I think it is very useful to sing the high pitch, but then there is a chance of becoming nasal if we use the head voice consistently. And nasal singing doesn't sound that good, to be honest. Also, we cannot use the head voice a lot of time because it produces a different kind of strain on our voice and overall body system, also on the throat and like sometimes in the head region as well. So these are some of the limitations of the head voice. So the real challenge in producing a good voice or a good voice for classical singing is mastering the airflow and producing the mixed voice. So initially I could use only the voices like the stomach voice and the head voice separately. Like I showed you how you I think you must have already observed that as well. While shifting from the head voice, there was a particular break, or you can easily recognize when I shifted from the head voice to some other voice. That was a challenge or a problem. So switching smoothly between these voices was very hard. But with the practice, mastering the chest voice, observing my internal breath, doing the regular pranayam, so this finally helped me to develop the mixed voice. Let me try to show you one demo of the mixed voice. Let's see how you can whether you recognize the when I switch from one voice to other voice or it because it's a mixed voice. I hope you will not be able to recognize that, and that is the key. That is where we have to reach it. So whenever we are singing the low notes or high notes, if we try to use that mixed voice, then you can produce very smooth, fluent, nice singing. So So your singing becomes versatile. You can sing different styles, lower notes, higher notes, fast singing, taans, gamakas, murkis, all that with the airflow and the mixed voice. So this actually took me years, and that's normal because we have to do it with patience, experiments. It's all about the internal instrument because voice is something very personal. So we have to do put the dedicated efforts to get to that particular point. So now you have understood that you have to do it yourself. The efforts to switch from the throat voice to chest voice. But then, how will you know whether you are on the right track or not? Because you are doing it yourself. So, there are some signs or indicators according to me. First one, when your voice starts shifting from throat to like chest or stomach, what happens? How will you understand the improvements in your voice? So first thing is your breath becomes relaxed and smooth. That is one of the indicator. Also, your holding capacity, like the breath holding capacity and the note holding capacity, or producing the steady note, it starts increasing. So longer breath holding capacity and longer time you can stay on one particular note for a like particular period of time. Then the strain which you get over here after singing for a while near the throat region, it starts reducing. You can sing for longer time without fatigue in your voice or in general anywhere on your body. Then a smooth shift across low and high pitch. That is also one of the indicators. You will start observing it yourself. No wrinkles or strain on your face because that stress it reflects somewhere on your body, especially on the face. So you will start observing that as well. Once your voice becomes smoother and smoother, that stress also reduces gradually. And then you can also observe that you will be able to sing the fast stance, higher notes very easily, and you can feel lighter, no stress at all. So if this happens, if these indicators you can observe them in your singing, that means you are on the right track. Now, one thing we have to keep in our mind, everyone's voice is different. Even if we learn from same teacher, our internal instrument, that is our voice, it can behave differently. So the key is keep experimenting, keep observing yourself, do not force your voice, don't blindly copy anyone, and find your own combinations or techniques. This is a transition, this is a journey. It's not like 1 week task, right? There are many different techniques. What worked for one person, it may or may not work for the other person in same way and in same time. So do explore all these techniques, all these practices which are suitable for you. Find out which is suitable for you and keep yourself motivated to crack your own technique to produce the perfect mixed voice. Now, you may explore the techniques mentioned earlier, like you can also see the videos from, say, Professor Unnikrishnan, Dr. Balamurali Krishna, Kaushiki Chakraborty ji, Bundesha brothers, and see different approaches to the voice culture and developing the mixed voices. You have to find it on your own using these different techniques. So I have also given the links of all these videos in the description below. So lastly, I hope my experience helps you to understand your own voice in a better way. If you found this helpful, do explore the different teachers as I have mentioned already in the video, and also try different techniques which I have told you. Try their methods, pick the one which suits you and your body, your voice, and above all, stay patient, stay curious, keep practicing. See you soon in the next video. Until then, keep learning, keep practicing, keep singing. Bye bye.